What is going on, guys? Grave here. Today I'd like to talk about some more changes to Coral Riptide in the last week of the public test server. Now this week's notes, kind of to be expected, not really a whole lot going on here. I know a lot of you were looking for changes more to the Nightblade. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get those. But I was kind of surprised to see another change to Coral Riptide. Now this is the third time that they have changed it within the public test server cycle for update 47. We had a change in week 1, we had another change last week, and we had a change this week. It says trial set Coral Riptide. This set now adds up to 1600 weapon and spell damage in general, rather than the 680 to only damaging abilities. We talked about that last week, that they'd moved it to damaging abilities. Now it's going to give that 600 weapon and spell damage in general back. Of course, that was something that it had on it from week 1. So the developer note here says, as some of you pointed out, this set is easier to use compared to some of the other trial set values for weapon and spell damage. So we're walking back our week 4 adjustments and taking a different stab at them, so the values are comparable but slightly weaker than sets like Sororia, Harmony, and Chaos, and so on. Let us know how this approach works for you. So in saying that, of course, if we have any more changes to this, it may come in the final, patch notes for the actual update, but that's going to be pretty soon here. Of course, if you play on PC, if you're like myself on console, we'll have to wait a few more weeks after the PC launch, as always, for this update. But I thought this was kind of interesting that they decided to go ahead and make some more changes to Coral Riptide. I'm kind of curious how you guys feel about this. I know a lot of people were kind of not real happy just in general with the changes overall. They kind of wanted it to be left alone like it was, before the public test server was released. But it does seem that they went back with that, 600 weapon and spell damage, just kind of that general weapon and spell damage, instead of having that 680 damage to damaging abilities. So I'm not sure how I really feel about this. I don't really think it's bad either way. I do find it really good that ZOS is seemingly listening to the community more with update 47. Ever since the very first week of the update 47 patch notes were released, there was a lot of kind of pushback from the community because many changes that a lot of the community did not like, and they have either walked back or given an explanation for why they're doing each one of them, and we have not really seen it kind of in that capacity in the past. The only one, like I said, kind of at the start, they really didn't change was the stuff with the Nightblade, which I know a lot of you are disappointed in. But when it comes to this trial set, is this something that makes you happy? Are you glad to see these changes kind of be reverted back to what we saw before week 3 of the public test server, or kind of what we saw in the beginning of the public test server? Leave me a comment with your thoughts. Let me know what you think, and of course, if you like the video, hit the like. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.